Okay, ready. It's on.
Hey guys, what's up? So today I have the Radikal NK1 Bullpup 12 gauge semi-automatic shotgun, and today we're going to be doing its review. So the first time I ever ran into the NK1 was actually at a little tiny gun store that I just happened to randomly wander into for browsing purposes. And this was the main attraction. The first thing that I thought when I first saw it was, damn, this thing looks weird. And you gotta admit, all bullpup firearms, whether if it's shotguns or rifles, they all look a little bit funny and they're just ugly. But if you can get over all of the weirdness and the ugliness, there's actually a couple advantages that you get to a shotgun in a bullpup configuration. The first one is its tactical application. Now, what do I mean by this? Most shotguns out there, especially birding shotguns, have a 24-inch barrel, but its overall length is usually pretty long, anywhere between 45 to 48 inches. Now, that's not the case with the NK1. It retains the same 24-inch barrel of other birding shotguns out there in a bullpup configuration and compact design, because the overall length is actually only 38 inches total. And that's massive. That's a massive advantage over traditional shotguns, because you can use it in most tactical situations, in corridors. It's easily transportable in vehicles, tight staircases. It's the ultimate home defense weapon. The second advantage that you get with this guy is its magazine fed system. Now, we all know why that's an advantage, because it's quick reloads, literally 2 seconds to load a brand new clip of either 5 to 10 round magazines. Now, there's also disadvantages to a magazine fed system too, in regards to changing out alternate loads. The only way you can change out different shots would be to change out the entire magazine completely loaded with those shots that you want to fire. Versus in a traditional tube-fed system, all you would have to do is take the shot that you want and just load it into a tube and pump it into the chamber, and you're done. Now, let's take a look at the whole gun from start to finish, and we'll begin from the top at the barrel. So, as I mentioned before, this guy has a 24-inch barrel, but it comes covered with a barrel shroud right here. This is not weighted. This is not vented or anything. It's not a suppressor. It's just a straight up barrel shroud, and you could use it either with the barrel shroud on or off. But for me, I like to keep it on just for the looks and the aesthetics. And there's also a threaded muzzle for chokes too. And this comes with a 4-choke set. Okay, now onto the receiver itself. Now we got the handguard right here, which is built into the upper receiver. It's got Picatinny rails at the 9, 12, and 3 o'clock, and also at the 6 o'clock position. At the 6 o'clock position, we have an angled foregrip, which really helps with the recoil and the stability of the gun. On the top here, right out of the box from the factory, we've got these Magpul-esque flip-up sights. They're pretty nice actually, because they actually have elevation adjustments and also adjustments for windage. So that's good there. This particular model also comes with a Vortex green and red dot sight, as you can see right here. And as I mentioned before, the handguard and the upper receiver is basically fused into one assembly. And then we have the lower receiver right here with all of the trigger groups. The one thing that I want to go over is the trigger for this guy, because most bullpups get the bad rep for having really terrible triggers. Now, this is not the case with the NK1, even though it's a bullpup. I don't know why. It actually feels really smooth, and it actually has a really light pull comparable to a lot of the competition shotguns out there. Right here we have the ambidextrous safety switch. Everything about this gun practically is designed to be ambidextrous. As you can see, ambidextrous safety. We also got ambidextrous magazine release button, and also an ambidextrous charging handle that you can basically pull and fit it onto the other side. Okay, and the upper and lower receiver is detachable through the removal of several takedown pins, just like AR platforms. You will have to readjust yourself if you've never used a bullpup before in the whole reloading process. I know I did. It takes a little bit because you really have to retrain your entire muscle memory. That takes some getting used to, but over time, you'll probably get familiarized. The next part that's not ambidextrous in this gun, the one part that's not ambidextrous is the ejection chamber, which is a 3-inch chamber. Now, we're gonna go on to the actual firing, and when it came to reliability, it was good, eventually, and this is why. We tested the gun out with 5 different types of shots. We had 2 light shots, which were 7.5 and 8.5 and number 8s. And then we had heavy shot, which were double-aught buckshots and triple-aught buckshots, and also metal slugs. So when we fired the heavy shots, we had no issues at all with the cycling. Everything worked out perfect. The gun ran beautifully and consistently. I mean, you had a couple of cycling issues at the very beginning when you're starting with the heavy shots, but after those couple hiccups, everything worked out perfectly, and after 200 shots, we didn't have a problem. Now, when we moved on to the light shots, the 7.5 and number 8 shots, oof, if you plan to use light shots with this gun, I will warn you that you are going to have a bad time. This gun is not meant for light shots. When we tried it, like, it was so bad that even though we had 200 shots to fire, we only went through about 50 because we were just so annoyed. There was constant cycling issues. The shell would not eject at all, and sometimes it would just get jammed in the chamber, and the only way you could release it was basically pulling the charging handle after every single shot, and it was just annoying.
Jesus Christ. I'm really...
We also tried with heavy slugs. Now, the heavy slugs, we fired about 10 shots of it, and everything ejected perfectly, not a single problem. And we used the Winchester 3-inch metal slugs for those. For accuracy, the rule is with a 12 gauge buckshot, it is a 1-inch spread for every yard. This is exactly what we experienced because we tested it out at 10, 15, and 20 yards. And at 10 yards, we had about a 12-inch spread. At 15, it was about a 17 to 19-inch spread. And at 20, some of our pellets missed the silhouettes completely, and the spread measurement was around 25 to 27 inches. So pretty on point there. Now, when we tested this gun with heavy slugs, we had 10 shots, I'm sorry, at a 12-inch target at 100 yards. And it hit 100% of the time. We were really impressed. Now, at just over 7 pounds, I actually expected the NK1 to kick a little bit more. But that wasn't the case at all, because most semi-automatic shotguns, the action already absorbs a lot of the recoil. But when coupled with the ergonomics of the bullpup configuration and also the angled foregrip and the slightly forwarding position of the pistol grip, it actually makes this gun very comfortable. Overall, the Radikal NK1 is a complete package gun. And at a price range of $650. It's definitely on the higher end of Turkish import shotguns, but when comparing with another bullpup shotgun on the market, the Tavor TS12, it is about half the price and could probably perform just as well, if not outperform it completely. On to the final score. For appearance, I would give the NK1 about a 4 because, you know, it comes in a nice matte black finish, but at the same time, it's really nothing special. It's not Cerakote or anything. And due to my biases for bullpups, they just look strange. So I'm gonna take down a star, and out of 5 stars, I'm giving it a 4 for appearance. Now for customization, I'd have to give this thing a 5 out of 5 stars because as you can see, you've got Picatinny rails at the 6, 9, 12, and 3 o'clock positions. And even though there's a foregrip at the 6 o'clock position, you can remove that and even put a vertical grip if you want. And you've got so much options on sights and other accessories too, so it deserves a 5 star. For accuracy though, I mean, it's pretty typical with all the other shotguns out there. It's pretty average. So I would have to give it an easy 3 out of 5 stars. For reliability though, I'd have to give it a 4 out of 5 star because while it performs really well with all the other types of shots, heavy shots and slugs and everything else, the light shots just wasn't cycling, so 4 out of 5. Now, for practicality, that's an easy 5 stars. I mean, you're getting the same performance of a traditional shotgun at a 24-inch barrel in a bullpup configuration that's less than 40 inches. All right, so the final overall score, the final grade that we're gonna give the Radikal NK1 is going to be a solid B. It's pretty good, but could use some improvements. Thank you so much guys for watching. We over at Lost Coast Tactical enjoy putting these videos together for you. If you like our content and want to see more of it in the future, be sure to click the subscribe button below. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave it all in the comment section below and we'll try to get to you as best as we can. Thank you again guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.